fuller of learning culture in Australia and beyond. In that noble mission, we Gortankaku members establish and maintain relationships with many diverse communities within Australia and around the world. Gortankaku is comprised of nearly 80 to 100 families, all living in Western Australia, who all share a common goal, preserving the full bay culture. In saying that, Mr. Ambassador, Gortankaku members come from many West African countries, such as Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and not long ago, Senegal. Today, we are here to celebrate the Guinean independence. Tomorrow, it can be, for example, Sierra Leone independence, Liberian independence, and so on. It is with great pride that we all talk about how Guinea showed leadership among all other African countries when it opted for independence without bloodshed, just because all Guinean people spoke one language, no to colonization. I stand here to pay respect to all of those who have made the sacrifices for Guineans to be free people. Freedom has no price. Happy Independence Day to all Guineans and friends of Guinea. Whilst we all celebrate the Guinean independence, it is also time for us to reflect on the path taken since the Independence Day in 1958 and have the courage to objectively evaluate our own progress against our desired goals and help to redesign a new Guinea where each and every one of us can live peacefully and thrive. All citizens are equal under the law must not just be a rhetoric, but a living thing, which most importantly can be witnessed by all of us, not a few. Mr. Senkoun Sillah, I'm sure as an administrator, you are not just here to listen to speeches. After the short time we have communicated to each other, I understand that you are also interested in knowing how you can help the communities to better settle in this country, but also how better to connect with our native land. And for some of us, with our, the land we come from, or the land where our forefathers come from, that is Guinea. In that perspective, it is no secret that we have so many challenges. Some of them, just getting a Guinean visa for holders of Australian passport is just a huge battle. Also for Guineans who hold Guinean passport and living in Australia, renewing that passport is just a big problem. So, and I wish and hope all of you members will raise other matters that you think are important to us in helping us living in this country, but at the same time reconnecting with our Guinea. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Once again, Kosabi Otori. Yeah.
My dear sisters and brothers, first of all, it's for me a great honor to be with you today, far away from our motherland, Guinea, in Australia, to meet you and to have an opportunity to exchange with you about some of your concern. As ambassador of Guinea based in Japan, and I have in my portfolio a certain number of countries, among which you have Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore, the Republic of Korea, and the Philippines. I'm here today to celebrate with the community what we share in common. That is our Independence Day. The Independence Day belong to all Guineans, no matter which part of Guinea you come from, but it's for all Guineans. That is one of the day we unite together. That is one of the day we be together, and we spoke with we speak with one view and one idea as a Guinean. So I continue now in French because it will be difficult for me to have a long speech in English. So I don't know if most of you understand French. No? Okay, so what I'm going to do is probably to mix. So if there is a sentence that I can, if there is a sentence that I cannot explain in English, then I did it in French. Donc je disais tantôt que je suis très heureux d'être là aujourd'hui, de partager avec la communauté guinéenne de Perth et puis surtout avec l'association Gortankaku, là que j'ai bien prononcé, Gortankaku. Ok, avec vous aujourd'hui pour conférer sur des préoccupations qui peuvent être celles de la communauté que vous représentez ici à Perth. C'est un grand honneur pour moi de faire ce déplacement, en dépit de la distance, puisque Tokyo est très loin de Perth, mais c'est un honneur d'être avec vous, de célébrer ce que nous avions en commun, c'est-à-dire le jour de l'indépendance, qui appartient à tous les Guinéens, quelle que soit leur région, quel que soit leur groupe ethnique. Donc, conférer avec vous, c'est aussi permettre d'abord à chacun de nous connaître et en même temps échanger sur les préoccupations qui peuvent être les tiennes, mais aussi et voir, nous en tant qu'administrateurs, dans quelle mesure nous pouvons apporter notre contribution pour, dans la recherche de solutions pour la communauté, mais aussi vous accompagner dans la mesure du possible à créer, à fédérer, comme on l'a toujours dit, les différentes énergies pour que la communauté puisse avancer dans le bon sens et qu'elle puisse se retrouver comme étant une communauté guinéenne, mais aussi sentir en elle qu'elle a des autorités qui peuvent à tout moment et à tout instant être là et prendre en compte pour les accompagner dans les soucis qu'ils peuvent avoir. Je sais que l'Australie est un pays immense, c'est un pays très grand et les Guinéens sont dispersés dans différentes régions de ce pays, mais depuis ma prise de fonction, je vous dirais que je suis à ma 4e visite ici en Australie et exactement à Perth, ça fait la 4e fois que je suis là.
Je résume ça.
Oui, oui. Ah, oui, oui. Bon, je vais peut-être... well, I was explaining that since I was posted in Japan, and I had opportunity to visit several times in Australia. This is my 4th visit in Perth. So I had opportunity to see few of you. And last year I came here. I met with some of the Guineans, but not all of you. But yesterday it was a very specific day because it was our Independence Day. So we, as the Guinean community, organized that event. So I also got the opportunity to meet some of you. And today is another opportunity to know another group of the community. So what is important for me as a representative of our country is to be in touch with all of you, and to speak with one voice, to know what we can do for you as a community, and also for us as an embassy representing Guinean in this part of the world, to know how we can accompany you in your process in living in this country, and to find out which kind of difficulties that you could face and according to your stay in this country. Of course, some of you have the Australian citizenship, but by heart, we all belong Guinean. Myself, speaking to you, I'm also from the diaspora, because I was living abroad for a long time, and then I integrated the administration, and after a couple of years I was promoted to abroad as a diplomat. So I roughly know some of the challenges that you face as a Guinean abroad. So the most important for me is maybe to listen to you and to know more about you, to know what is, the problems you have, and together we can find a solution that we can be able to put on the ground for the better life of the community that you represent in this country. Yeah. So that is a few words that I can express today. And once again, thank you for inviting me today. And I'm so happy to meet all of you today. And I hope it will be not the last time. I'd like to have a close contact with the community and explain to other community, not only in Perth, but in Sydney, that we have a consular affair in Tokyo. Because consular affair can give the opportunity for all Guineans who wish to get a consular card. That is very important. Because when you are living abroad, this card becomes your identity. Because you're living abroad, not in Conakry. If you are in Guinea, you have your ID. So for those who need, we can provide a consular card. And also, when he was explaining in his speech, that also we can provide some of the facilities for some of you who are in need. For example, to renew your passport, to extend your passport, and to have a birth certificate and visa. And visa also for those who have Australian citizenship who want to go to Guinea. We can issue a visa. You send out your document to us, we issue the visa, and then we resend back to you, to your address. So that is some of the issue that we can do with the community. And beside that, if you have any problems, because you have a kid, the community is growing here, and you have an idea that you want to promote as a Guinean, you can submit some of those ideas to us. As an embassy, we can see, and with the government, what we can do. Because, for example, in Tokyo, we have a huge community, and more than 400 people living in different parts of Japan. And they expressed the willing of having a school for their kids, because we living abroad sometimes kids are completely disconnected from the culture, from some of the tradition that we have in our own country. So having such a school can give opportunity to kids to maybe to study Quran or to learn French, for example. And the embassy, maybe it's difficult to provide means, to provide you maybe money or something, because that is a critical issue also for the embassy. But officially, we can support you. We can support you, we can present your leader to the government official of this country to say, okay, we have these people in your country, we want them to be recognized as this group. If there is anything that we can do for them, then we can push. And also, we are doing some of the things also to promote the diaspora. Because today in Guinea, we have the ministry in charge of foreign affairs and the Guinean abroad. And this ministry is promoting the diaspora. I mean, some of you who have experience, who have diploma, and are willing to share their knowledge with your country, we as embassy, we can push, we can help, we can propose to the government. That's I know Cherno have this experience, and then I am sure that he can bring his expertise and know-how in this field. So this is something also we can do as an embassy, because we all know when we leave our country for another country, we always stay for a certain time, not for the whole life. So we always have to think that one day we'll go back to our country.
So while you are in this country, you have to prepare also your return in your neighborhood. So that is a very, very important. So roughly, that is something, that is a few words I would like to express to you. So if you have any question to raise, I will be more than happy to provide some answer. Once again, thank you.
From now on, you won't be speaking French.
Yeah. You can't do a double colonization.
Guinean and Sierra Leonean, you mean?
Some of us being there from Australia.
Yes.
Like, and all Sierra Leone do have a dual citizenship.
Okay.
So Guinea have this dual citizenship as well.
Yes. Guinea also still have a dual citizenship. You can have Australian citizenship and a Guinean, Sierra Leone or something, and Guinean citizenship. That is not really a big problem. Yeah. You know, having double or triple citizenship, that is not a problem. Because you know where you come from. You know which country you belong to. You know, and this is very important. We come abroad, taking citizenship of that country will also facilitate your life here. It's not because you reject your country, but it's just for yourself, for your family, and to be more integrated in the country you are. So that is we don't blame people for that. So having double or triple, if you can, is what you can do for your country. That is much important as a citizen.
Thank you, sir.
You.
Any question from the ladies there?
Lady, you should say something, you know. We are, it's a gender equality today. Yeah.
Vote yes.
No?
No, just welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in part of that question Mr. Alpha asked, I just want to know how can you get the citizen? You have to go in Guinea, stay there for a certain period, like 1 year or 6 months or 2 years, or you just contact you guys and apply, or how you going to get that citizenship as an Australian and you want to get the citizenship as a Guinean?
As an Australian?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have all the information about that, but roughly, I mean, that is the general idea. If you want to get the citizenship from the one country, I think first you have to go to that country, and then to live there for a certain time. Maybe in Australia here is maybe 4 years, and probably in Guinea is between 4 years. Yeah, and then after that, you have to apply officially. And then it depends on the jurisdiction in charge of giving the citizenship to say yes or not if you are entitled to have a citizenship. So you are Australian, here, but originally where you come from?
Guinea.
Guinea. But why are you asking for having a citizenship with Guinea?
The reason is my parent from Guinea. I'm from Sierra Leone.
Okay, so you have a Sierra Leonean originally.
So as to become a Guinean as well, so that's the constitution I'm asking. In Guinea, how long are you going to stay in Guinea to get a citizen or to apply for citizen?
To be honest, I don't want to say something wrong. The times of years that you can spend, I don't know exactly. Yeah, to be sure, maybe 4 to 5 years something. Or one of your parents, if they live there, and if they have a citizenship, then they can provide you citizenship. Because you say your parents from Guinea. Yeah, you maybe was born in Sierra Leone, but your parents can give you citizenship. If they have citizenship of you. Because of that, you can give. Because there is many reasons to get citizenship. You can get by state, by being born in the country, or from your parents. So you have more chance to have Sierra Leone, Guinea, Australia. But the embassy cannot give you citizenship.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, first of all, I thank you very much for coming. And I've got 2 questions. One is just like the cost of the of the visa. I want to apply for a visa to go to Guinea. So what's the cost and how am I gonna pay for that visa? And how do I have to pay for the visa? Is it like by credit card or by which other way? Where do you guys do it for me to pay for the visa? And how would I get it? By email or by post?
Credit card.
Okay. That's the first station.
Yeah.
And then the second one?
The second one is how do I have to apply? Like, do I have to apply by email to write you guys, or like target a website to write to the Guinean ambassador, or like I'm applying for a visa to go to Conakry, and yeah, and then what is the maximum you give on the apply for the visa?
That is almost one question relating to the process, so the visa process.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do from today is maybe to be in contact with your leaders here. So I will send them by email all the information related to visa process. But roughly, I explain to you, to get a visa, it's more easier for you. Then you send your passport to our embassy. I will give my business card to. I will leave my business card today, or maybe to you. So you send by DHL because it's more secure. DHL your passport, 2 photographs of you, and the cost of the visa fees. Normally we charge 15,000 Japanese yen for 1 month's visa. 1 month's visa, that is more, it's less than $150 US. So that's one month's visa, and beside that, you have to add the transportation fee to be resent by DHL because it's more secure. And we have an obligation at the embassy for those who are asking any services from us, is first of all to get a consular card. Because what we notice, many citizens just come to the embassy because you have a specific problems and you just want to resolve that problem. For example, I need a visa, just give me my visa and that's it. But to have real pictures of your citizen living abroad, the most important thing is to have a consular card. So if you have a consular card, so that means we know that we have this amount of the people living in this part of the world. So the charge for this one is something around $30, 30. So the visa fee around $100 something, and the transport fee, and but I will give all those details, yes, to you. So we can do, of course, the visa. That's the most important. We can issue a visa from our embassy in Japan. So that's most easier for you instead of sending your passport to Guinea, because some people explain me that they send the document to Guinea and then they have to prepare and they pay a lot of money for that. And even when they arrive to Conakry, the immigration told me that those are not valid. Yeah. You know, you have to rely on your embassy because the embassy is the institution in charge of the Guinean people in your jurisdiction. So if we provide a visa, no one can contest that visa. So the best way to do, anyhow, you have administrative problems, you know that you can contact your embassy. So the address of the embassy, the price list of some administrative fees will be sent to your representatives here for communication to the community. All right, thank you.
And just to add on that, how long it takes to...
How long? That is the process. It's normally when we receive, it's between 1 to 3 days maximum for the Guinean. Yeah, for certain nationalities other than Guinean, sometimes can take 1 week because we ask so many documents. Yeah, we ask usually a letter of guarantee. We ask a copy of the air ticket, etc., and then the contact person in Guinea.
Okay. Sorry, is
Yes.
the same process for people in Sierra Leone that would just want to travel to Guinea, or is it a different?
It's a different process because for the people who's going to Sierra Leone, if you are making only transit to Guinea, then you don't need a visa because we belong to the ECOWAS community. So people within ECOWAS don't need a visa among each other. But if you're Sierra Leonean, then you want to go to Guinea, well, you don't need a visa also, because Sierra Leonean don't need the visa to go to Guinea. So if you have your contact in Guinea, so is just to inform him that you are coming and spend some days in Guinea, because the immigration only can ask you who you are visiting in Guinea, what is the purpose of your visit. Yeah, so you don't need to pass through the embassy.
Yes. First of all, I would like to thank the ambassador for coming, meeting us. First, I want to ask two questions, just same, but the other one was relating to visas. Sometimes we are here, we got Australian passport, and we got relatives or families in Guinea. So sometimes things might happen, emergency like death and something like that.
Yes.
So we want to go there directly. Yeah. Instead of us, because for me when I went there last time, I have to go all the way to London and get the visa there, then go back to Guinea. That was a long time ago, about 7 years ago now.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if there's any possibility to get emergency visa, contact you guys and get something emergency, say yes, this person want to go there because of certain reason. That's one. And another thing is we want to reduce the heavy load on you.
Yeah.
If there's any possibility to get a consular, Guinean consul in Australia, because we've got a lot of people from Sierra Leone and Guinea, who are descended from Guinea, are in Australia now. I think we've got more than 500 people to 600. I'm just talking about size of the Fulani, or if you think that there are tribes, we've got a lot, many thousands now. So that's why I'm asking if there's any possibility.
Well, that is a very important question. Well, unfortunately, we don't have an emergency in dealing with the visa process. What we are trying to do for the time being is to be able to establish a consular, honorary consulate in different parts of Australia, like Perth, Sydney, and Melbourne. So we're still in the process because we are looking for suitable people. Because it's very easy to find people, but once they are appointed, they don't do their job properly. So they have some privileges, and then they don't take care about the reason for what they are appointed. So that's why whenever I'm around here, I discuss with some relevant people. So I already have some ideas. I have 1 or 2, 3 people. So I'm thinking about that. So once we have honorary consulate here in Perth, so then if you have this kind of situation, then you can contact him directly, can issue a visa for you. Because the consular section can issue a visa also. But before that, unfortunately, you have to either rely on the embassy or take a risk to go directly to Guinea. Yeah.
Just to add on that, from the discussion I had with the ambassador, and he told me if we have knowledge of people we think can be suitable for that sort of positions, feel free to suggest, because he's open to suggestions.
Okay. And that is also very important. To add something to that, being honorary consulate should be someone who also have a knowledge. Not only knowledge, who have contact with the Australian authority, who can facilitate things for the community here. And you should have also your office, because many consulates, they don't even have office. They only have their bank, and their phone number. For education, you call them, they say, okay, I do this. This is not a consular. This is not this kind of consular. Me, I want to. So I want something, have office, If you need something, you know this is the office of the Guinean consulate in Perth. So you come there, you find someone you can talk to who knows your problems and who can help you. Yeah.
Any more questions? Yeah, Mr. Lam.
Yeah, I just want to do away a little bit on the visa. As we all know, Africa, we do. If you're living abroad, like you want to go back to start up a business and all that, we face all these problems back home in starting up a business. What your embassy can do to help people who are over here that would like in the future to invest back home, because some of us, that's our motive, to go back home and help the country back home. So anything you can do on that?
I think just to add on that, so in terms of investing back home, you know, people coming from overseas, they face so many challenges and which do not facilitate their way of establishing their businesses, you know, and what has been happening is a lot of people, they end up going back.
Yes.
So that's probably where the question lies.
Very good. Okay, to give an answer of this question also, which is very important also. A couple years ago, the government, I think 4 to 5 years before, the government set up an institution called in French APIP, Agence de Promotion des Investissements Privés. Cette agence, elle est extrêmement importante pour aider les Guinéens, la diaspora venant de l'extérieur, pour non seulement ouvrir une entreprise et s'établir en Guinée, mais aussi être en possession de tous les documents nécessaires pour vraiment avoir son entreprise. This is a one door. The APIP, the Agency for the Promotion of Private Sector, is a very important institution. So if you have any idea for opening businesses in Guinea, the most important for you, if you contact the embassy, we can be a bridge between you and this institution. So it's better you go and contact this institution and they have relevant information about the businesses you want to do. For example, just an example, if you want to invest in the food processing, for example, so they know, you know, they have a document in that field which can be helpful. And today in Guinea, what is important to know, you can set up your company in one day. You don't need to wait for a long time like before, but in one day, comme on dit, guichet unique, you can open your company. You don't need Paul, you don't need Pierre, you don't need to pay money to the extra people to help you. This agency is here to promote investment opportunity, especially from the diaspora. I will send also a brochure to you later about this institution and the business opportunity for the Guinean abroad.
I'll just add on to that. I already dealt with for people in Guinea.
Yes.
I already opened a business in 2011. I went to they were with Australians, so we opened a mixed company, 2 Guineans and 2 Australians. So all they asked me were the Australian passport, and we opened the business, and it happened in one day. So I can confirm that.
Good to know.
Thank you very much. So this is the one example that to show to the community that today is something realistic, that you can do your business in Guinea through that institution. So it's important to spread this kind of information among each other to able, you know, most of the people knows about the business opportunity in the country. That's very important also.
That's good.
Thank you.
Anyone, Mr. Bar?
Ladies, say something.
We want a question from the lady. One question from the lady.
I have one question. I mean, thank you for coming.
Yes.
Sorry, I can't get to.
It's okay.
So it's just about extending your passport. For example, I have a passport which is expiring in March next year.
Yes.
So what is the process of extending, or whether now we have to get the new passport that Guinea is using? If we have to go and change the passport together, or if we can extend the existing, and what is the process? To do either way?
Okay, you mean the passport?
Just to add on that,
Hang on, can you
he's
film?
talking about Guinean passport.
You also want to do it now, we can do it for you. We extend from the date of the expiration, from the previous date of expiration for 4 to 5 years more.
Okay. So we don't have to get the new passport because my passport is the green one. Because
I think it's the previous passport, because the previous passport you can extend it only once. Only once.
so it hasn't been extended.
Okay, so that is good. Yes, unfortunately, the current passport we cannot extend it. If it finished, then you have to go back in the country. But of course, we're still working with the government, especially the ministry in charge of security. And the promise us that they will make a trip to certain country. And nowadays, I think they are in the US, and probably, I'm not sure, I don't want to be wrong, probably before the end of this year, or probably next year, we will have a team from Guinea to come for this process. That's why it's important for those who want to have a Guinean passport to be registered at the embassy. Because when the team arrives at the embassy, they first of all ask us about the list of the Guinean at the embassy. So that is very important, and we can do that process also among you through your leaders. So we will send the document to them. So those who are willing to have a consular card, so we make a group registration. Then you send all the documents to us, and then we resend the documents, which is easy instead of making by individual.
Okay, in that time, you have to be a Guinean holder, a passport.
Yes, Guinean holder passport.
So not all people descended from Guinea who have Guinea passport.
Yeah, but you have to show an official document for Guinea. Because you cannot show me Sierra Leonean passport and ask me to give you a consular card. That is not possible. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for coming. I just had a quick question there. I have two questions. One's for birth certificate for our kids who are born here. If you want to get birth certificate for them, what will be the process? And the second thing, for those who don't have Guinean ID card and passport, but if they have the Guinean birth certificate, is that birth certificate enough for them to be able to get a consular card?
Yeah.
Just to add on that one, Mr. Bai is talking about families where the adults, they have the Guinean passport or the Guinean citizenship, where these guys have kids. He's talking about these kids, how to get birth certificate for these kids.
Yes, I can do understand. Of course, if you want to establish a Guinean birth certificate, we can do it also from the embassy.
Okay.
Yeah, we need only the information that the kid is born, if for example is born here in Perth. We need this birth certificate from Perth. And then once we receive that document, then we establish birth certificate for you from the embassy, and we also send to you. And the second question.
The second question is for those who don't, like there's Guinean people or Guinean of origin who don't have Guinean passport or ID card, but they still have the Guinean birth certificate.
The Guinean birth certificate, that's the proof of your nationality. So if even you don't have passport, even you don't have any document, I mean this is most of the document, because it's proof of your nationality. So for example, if I want to establish a new passport for myself, first of all I have to get my birth certificate. So if I go to the immigration or the administration in charge of establishing the passport, when I show my birth certificate, then they recognize I'm from Guinea. So I'm entitled to have this document and this document. So it's the same.
Any more questions? Yeah.
Okay. John, no. They married while the man had come in the lucky, go from the heavy at home. ha o ñan ara wala ba certificate wala carte on ma haro arno kadi ma ko manti wala kadi da woto ko wala non ma hebuti de kadi makko fi kala jon ko Zeeland ko wala de kadi passport of
Okay. So for the other son,
Yes, I understand.
he speaks Kula.
Oh wow.
It is all language.
Yeah. No, for this case, we need a proof. We need a proof. This is something, a birth certificate or any proof that show that this person is from Guinea. Because any one of us can lose all the documents. You know, but there is we need to have something from him. Even he's here today, but he cannot prove that he's a Guinean. That is a big problem for us because he lost all of his documents. The most important, since he's been in Guinea before, is to maybe to ask your parents there or your relatives if they can. Yes. Help to have any document from him. Yes. Extract that document. And then from that document, we can maybe issue maybe consular card for him. And even with this document, if one day we have a team from Guinea, we can get Guinean passport also.
Thank you. Yeah, all the other department. Women have it on our like and I know that Kasur had it. Not hospital. Naturally, they don't have even.
Any more questions?
This guy asked, for the kids that were born here, but to have the birth certificate, do we have to, the parent has to send you his passport?
No. Only the copy of the birth certificate.
Okay.
Yes, the copy of the passport.
Oh, okay.
Of the two parents. Australien, qui permettent à la Guinée, à l'instar d'autres pays comme le Sénégal, je crois qu'il y a un truc sur lequel on peut même aller sur le net et vérifier. Donc moi j'ai fait ma part du travail. Donc nous attendons un peu que ce processus soit mis en place pour que nous aussi puissions quand même bénéficier de quelques bourses d'études et puis faciliter quand même à des jeunes qui veulent pas faire leur formation de pouvoir venir dans ce pays quand même qui dispose, qui a quand même un niveau d'éducation assez élevé et important.
Put that in English?
La Nouvelle-Zélande, c'est la même chose. La Guinée n'est pas dedans.
Pardon?
La Nouvelle-Zélande, c'est la même chose.
La Nouvelle-Zélande, c'est la même chose. L'année dernière, j'ai présenté mes lettres de créance également en Nouvelle-Zélande. Et dans la foulée des discussions, ils ont décidé de nous accorder des stages de formation, pas pour le moment de bourse. C'est-à-dire chaque année, ils peuvent inviter 2, 3, 4 personnes pour venir apprendre de l'anglais. Bon, le temps qui a été proposé était de 3 mois. Bon, moi j'ai trouvé ça insuffisant pour des gens qui veulent venir. Moi, pour le moment, ils disent que c'est à ce niveau. Donc on verra comment, dans les années à venir, c'est un processus de discussion. Yeah, I was talking about the scholarship there. We discussed about the Australian authorities in order to enable the Guinean government to benefit from the Australian scholarship comparing to other African countries. So the discussion is on the way. We already sent all the documents to Guinea, and we are waiting for the request from the government side to be sent to the Australian government. So from that time, we also can be entitled to Australian scholarship. And we have the same problem with the New Zealand. I was explaining that I presented my credential last year. And nowadays they are giving a training to learn English to some government official. But the period of training is very short because it's 3 months. So we still under discussion with the authority of New Zealand to extend that period of training from 3 to 6 months, for example. But it's still under discussion. And he also explained me one issue about people who have their passport expired already. They don't want to go to Guinea. Of course, if some of you are in this case, then we can establish a document that we call laissez-passer. It's a travel document, so you can travel only to Guinea. You cannot go to another country. Of course, you can make transit to one country, but to Guinea, that's the final destination.
Okay, Mr. Sillah, thanks a lot, and thanks for the ladies for the delicious food. So,
Thank you.
may Allah remove you for the great effort.
Amen.
And all of us.
If before you conclude, I want to say some few words. That's to the community. Maybe it's better for me to say it in French. J'ai un message à adresser à l'ensemble de la communauté guinéenne ici à Perth. Nous en avons échangé entre nous et je pense qu'il est très important. Si nous, en tant que communauté de l'État, nous avons l'opportunité de rencontrer nos frères et nos sœurs de l'étranger, de les expliquer la vision que nous souhaitons pour la communauté. Et cette vision, c'est une vision communautaire basée sur la cohésion, basée sur l'entente, basée sur l'unité. Parce qu'il est très important qu'étant à l'extérieur, on puisse avoir une vision commune. Celle-ci nous permet le plus souvent d'aller de l'avant. Vous êtes dans un grand pays où l'esprit communautaire est extrêmement important. L'Australie est un pays où se trouve une multitude de communautés venant de différents horizons. Donc ce pays a été construit à travers les différentes communautés. Je pense que vous avez votre part de responsabilité à jouer dans ce pays, en essayant de vous positionner pour devenir une communauté forte, une communauté qui sera à l'écoute des préoccupations qu'elle va transmettre aux autorités de ce pays. Mais pour y arriver, il est important que vous soyez unis. Je le disais tantôt, qu'ici on remarque qu'il y a la communauté Kishi, il y a la communauté Mandingo, il y a la communauté forestière, la communauté Peul et d'autres communautés. Mais je pense que cela vous affaiblit dans vos démarches et dans votre action. Une communauté qui défend des valeurs culturelles, c'est bon, ne serait-ce que pour les enfants et aussi pour les futures générations, d'avoir une prise en compte de leur réalité. C'est important. Mais au-delà de ces aspects culturels, nous avons beaucoup de choses en commun que nous pouvons essayer d'intégrer au sein de notre groupe et les valoriser. Donc c'est à travers la formation d'un groupe. Et si on avait même un grand groupe, une grande association de Guinéens d'Australie, avec par exemple des représentants de la communauté guinéenne d'Australie à Perth, à Sydney, à Melbourne, etc. Mais un grand groupe de Guinéens. Mais c'est un rêve. Mais pourquoi pas? On a le droit de rêver si on a au moins la chance d'avoir un groupe comme ça qui parlerait au nom de tous les Guinéens. Je crois que les préoccupations que vous serez capable de poser pourra mieux attirer la bienveillante attention des autorités australiennes. Moi, je crois qu'en venant ici, c'est le message que je peux vous livrer en tant que frère, mais en tant que aussi représentant de l'État, susciter un regain de solidarité entre vous, parce qu'on constate malheureusement que non seulement on a des problèmes sociaux en Guinée, mais on rencontre les mêmes problèmes à l'extérieur. Je pense que vous n'avez pas besoin de ça. Parce que si vous avez eu la chance de quitter la Guinée, vous êtes des références. Vous êtes dans les pays, vous avez bénéficié d'une éducation. Vous avez bénéficié d'un niveau de développement. Donc, quelque part, vous comprenez et vous analysez mieux les choses par rapport aux autres qui sont restés au pays. Donc, vous êtes des éléments catalyseurs pour essayer, à travers ce que vous avez appris en termes d'expérience, de savoir-faire, de pouvoir aussi jouer un rôle permettant aux communautés de nos pays de pouvoir avancer. Mais cela ne peut se faire que dans un esprit patriotique, dans un esprit communautaire, dans une dynamique de groupe. Donc je crois que c'est le message à la fin que je voulais vraiment lancer à la communauté. Peut-être pour ceux qui ne m'ont pas compris en français, je vais voir comment je peux le traduire. Voilà. Mais je ne sais pas. If you want to... Yeah, if you
Yeah, please.
Voilà.
Didn't understand.
Yeah, okay.
No, any yo sifotun ko adimo do ko oni weltike ko Modi Hamidu mi faldi donc o wari do mi fillito to woni haali kono nan gasa ha no manki seeɗa haɗa ngacci hakkeji woni wari ɗo o weltike ko yi kon e teddungal ngal ko yiide communauté ji ɗin ɗo donc noonni o ari Australie ɗo o tawi leydi ka wonɗen ɗo ɗe hiɗen arsika ɗo moƴƴa ko leydi moƴƴiri donc no yimɓe ɓen ɗo ko jogodiral ɓay leydi ni ko yimɓe iwruɓe aduna o fof ari woni ɗo woodi ɗo yimɓe iwruɓe ɗon andi Australie ɗo a yiye ɗo iwruɗo Amérique du Sud a yiye ɗo iwruɗo Europe donc aduna o fof ari fotti yeyi moƴƴinde leydi ndi donc enen ɗo kadi en ari ɗo donc enen kadi ko nokkugo iwruɗen kono enen ɗo ko leydi wotiri iwrumanni ɗen ko leydi wotiri iwruɗen kono ko ari ɗo o tawi donc communauté ji men ɗi woɓɓena ɗo kisiɓɓen no feere sosoɓɓen no feere maninkaɓɓen no feere fulɓe ɓen no feere donc wonni kanko ko vision ko ɓe faala ko ɗum ko fiiyo yo fof wontu hunde wotere fof wonta hunde wotere gollita fii hunde wotere donc si tawi waɗirama noon walla en fii si tawi en faala goɗɗum e sengo laamu mum ɗo hoynana en piiji ɗum ɓay so tawi joni so tawi wonti hunde wotere ɗum ɓeyday fiimen mum ɓeyday so tawi en landike goɗɗum haray ɓay haray ɗen ɗuuɗi ko mojoɓere wotere ko hunde wotere faala ɗen ɓeyday walla en fii kala ko faala ɗen hakkunde men e laamu mum ɗo ɗum haray kanko ko ɓe faala ko so tawi haray koye waw golliden wonte hunde wotere enen e communauté ji hedditiɗin ɗo yimɓe ɓe wonɓe ɗo enen iwruɓe leydi wotiri nden wontide hunde wotere golle fii no walliren leydi men ndin no wallitoren hoore men kadi donc min ko ɗum ɗo mi faami so tawi woodi ko ɓeyɗo ɗum ɗon ma mi diwi
ko non woni en fait ko peeji ɗiɗi ɗo yewti ko wonugol gooto ma gollitugol e yimɓe no wawi wonde ɓe seeɗa kadi ɓe gollina kadi no wawi kadi wonde kadi ɓe wona kadi haɗay ko ɗum kono fof e muɗum ko jokkodirgo ɗum woni collaboration jokkodirgo e association ji woɗɗi ga ɗi jonidira doole ɗi jonidira pehe fiino ɓe fiino ɓantinen fi meɗen ay ko fi ɗum woni no reni ano yewti no leydi ndi ɗo leydi arɓe leydi Australie fof ko arɓe expérience no ɗum donc ye wawi hutorde ɗum ɗon enen nder donc haray si hewti ɗon joni en hewti ka sallimal haray joni mi jonite ɗo konngol ngol koto wuuri ɓe hewtinanan certificat on ko watti e ɗon mi salminake mi jarnake sonnaɓe saabu defugo o wakkilike ɓoyi ko hankimen jonni message o haray yo Allah o hokkum baraji muɗum o wakkilike ɓe ɓoyi e kala seeniɓe fof ɓen yo Allah o hokkuɓe baraji seeɗa o wonanayi jonde wondude e nafa ara ko nafata e nafa ɓe guri jime e nafa kala juɗɗo mo e kala ko boni e muɗum kadi yo Allah o damɓe o dandana kala juɗɗo mo haray ko ɗo woni mi jonete o
joni ambassade men gono ɓe o juwi men ari gono mi andi on aray kono min andano ngara e ngaa koɗo omo haray joni min mara ko min arta noon haray mi kadi joni noon haray min jonni on ɗo moɓo dangal no mooɓi ɗum ɗo jonni on haray on joni on ɗo moɓodiranga fof naafo noon ari ɗo hannde ɓay haari men short notice ok on jarama fota haray ene yetta ɓe laggine ɓen fof waɗa hotto fi fof ɗon ɓiɗo ɓen Gortankaku Western Australia jarama
nous voulons aller dehors là-bas prendre des photos ensemble.
Il faut me prendre une photo comme ça, vous
Ouais.
après.
Ouais.